Guys, Ben, a turning point just mogged the NFL tonight in the single greatest culture war victory in my lifetime with the defeat of the NFL's woke, cringe, derivative, foreign, unintelligible, Spanish-speaking, no-hit songs played halftime show that nobody could understand and that everybody is saying across the internet, the single worst halftime show in NFL history. Meanwhile, Turning Point put on a show that was banger after banger after banger. Country music, American rock, feel-good songs sung by Americans who love their country and can speak English. You know, it's American football that's being played here. This is our biggest sport and our biggest game. And so to have an entire performance where nobody can even understand what's going on is an insult. You're spitting in the face of not only your nation, but your core fans. Turning Point mogged the NFL last night. And I'm not just saying that. The entire internet agrees with me. What was on display tonight in this incredible cultural event? Well, you have America First versus America Last. That's what this was. Look no further than explaining a halftime show for legacy Americans who like country music, who speak English, who like bourbon, and invaders who believe that this is a land whose treasure is to be plundered by them, up to and including our national pastimes, like football. It was despicable. It was woke. It was globalist. At the very end of Bad Bunny's performance, he goes and marches through the stadium with all of the flags of the left. This is where you get open borders. Woke, cringe, unintelligible, foreign, boring, derivative, preachy, and creatively bankrupt. Turning Point mogged them in a total and complete cultural victory. When Bad Bunny says, God bless America, he doesn't mean our country, America. He means the total continent of America. Like as in, all, you know, from Chile all the way up to Canada. That's what he means. He doesn't mean our country where he's performing. He means the entire continent. And more importantly, there's this giant preachy billboard in the background that says the only thing more powerful than hate is love. Well, I hate this performance, and nobody loved it. So I guess we're pretty powerful. Meanwhile, Kid Rock and an unbelievable demonstration of true, actual, legitimate power. Millions watching. Look at that. 5.1. This is one of the single most viewed events in YouTube history. The top concurrent viewer count is 8 million on YouTube, and the Turning Point account got to 6 million for their incredible halftime performance here. I hope that you were watching his 30-minute performance. It's amazing. Chilling and emotional and beautiful performances by everyone. Absolutely electric. At a time of recording, it still has 1,700 people watching. It has 719,000 likes. Meanwhile, nobody liked Bad Bunny. You know, it's just like plastic, girls shaking their plastic asses. Alphabet people propaganda. Woke, cringe, class, and invasion. Having your halftime show of your biggest game of the year in the language almost none of your lifelong fans can understand, while waving the flags of countries that none of them are from, is the biggest FU that I've ever seen a corporation give its own consumers. Correct. Look at this. Gavin Newsom loves it, though. Love Trump. Hey. Oh. Look at that. Together, we are America. Do you see the messaging here? The messaging is that there is no such thing as America. All of these foreign nations are also America. That's the messaging. Forget the trash music. What's the point of having a halftime show in Spanish? A lot of people just can't understand what's being said. Bad Bunny's football. Together, we are America. Yeah. Yeah. This is trash. And this is, by the way, why Kid Rock is trending higher and surging in the trending page and nobody is talking about Bad Bunny at all. I don't know why they were. I didn't know they were playing the Super Bowl in Mexico. Couldn't understand an effing word of it. The All-American halftime show was amazing. Great work. Most importantly, it was in effing English, our national language. NFL conducting a humiliation ritual for their millions of fans to sit through. This makes me sick. It was completely, again, maybe like a couple Puerto Ricans liked it. Not me. NFL halftime show versus the TPUSA halftime show. Neutrality isn't an option. That's right. It was bad, man. It was bad. Millions and millions of people. I'm sure it will be 20 million viewers by the time it's all said and done. Bad Bunny will close out his performance with a billboard behind him, preaching, of course. Massive victory for TPUSA. Impossible to overstate what a huge win it is. 5 million people right now as Lee Brice took the stage. Incredible. 5.6 million viewers, 400,000 likes, insane numbers. Unbelievable halftime show at Turning Point. Back to the most boring Super Bowl. Halftime show is being performed entirely in Spanish. NFL just made the biggest play yet to alienate half the country. Congratulations. Stop giving your money to the NFL. Not sure how people took the Bad Bunny halftime show, but the Turning Point halftime show is clearly a success. Millions and millions and millions on a live stream. Competing halftime shows will become the standard. It seems inevitable. Congratulations, Turning Point. I am in tears. Beautiful halftime show. Everybody did a spectacular job. Perfect. Thank you. Worst halftime show ever. The real American halftime show, Turning Point, was terrific. Americans could understand the lyrics. Yeah, complete trash. Yeah. The Jay-Z Rock Nation partnership with the NFL needs to come to an end. America haters should not be in charge of selecting halftime performers for America's game. Terrible. Turns out, if you can sing in English, skip the American bashing and foreign flags, ditch the pole stripper outfits, and drop absolute fire halftime show. Great job, Turning Point USA. If there were English subtitles during the halftime show of America's greatest sporting event, and Donald Trump weighing in, saying this was the absolutely horrible and one of the worst ever. Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's an affront to the greatness of America. It doesn't represent the standards of success, creativity, and excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying. And the dancing is disgusting, especially from young children that are watching throughout the USA and all over the world. This show is just a slap in the face to our country, setting a new standard, records every single day. There's nothing inspirational about the mess that is the halftime show. We'll get great reviews from fake news because they haven't got a clue what's really going on in the real world. By the way, the NFL should immediately replace the ridiculous new kickoff rule. Trump hates that rule. Yeah. Yep. Most importantly, it was in effing English, our national language. What did you think about the halftime show? Very, very proud to have been a small part in planning and promoting the Turning Point show. And yeah, it's a great honor. These are the culture war victories that we are built for. So like, share, and subscribe if you want more.